Yes, Nicole, can you share a bit about your work? What do you do?
Okay, currently I am a full-time Jin Shin Jyutsu practitioner, which means what I do is this is like an energy medicine work. Yeah, working on Meridian pathway. So another popular name that they like to call Jin Shin Jyutsu is acupuncture without needles, and it is actually using hands. So under a experienced practitioner, so hands-on flows, we call it, on different sequence, as in we touch different parts of the body, forming a different types of sequence flow, we call it, to harmonize the body. So in terms of what does it do actually, okay, this is like an analogy of a river flowing, yeah, from one end to another, and it is like our network of meridian flows. So if there's no blockages, so whatever from point A will go to point B with 100% nourishing every parts of you, mind, body, spirit, in that sense. So over time, let's say the riverbank wall gets weakened with erosions or even debris from the trees, dropping on it. So along the pathway, then there are blockages, and these blockages will cause, of course, a lot of deviation in terms of this flow. So from point A, you will get to point B. The point B may maybe get like 20%, over time, and translate to, let's say, what happened in the physical form. It could be pain or even cancer in very severe cases. So in terms of Jingsu, what do? We actually run so-called run flows. We do the session, and along the way, we picked up so-called. You need to know that, okay, there are rubbish, debris, and all that. You will be removed. There are holes that needs to be patched, and you'll be patched. So as you do that, the walls are better. So the streams, from A to B, kind of like reverse and restore back to 100%. And at the end of, let's say, at the B point where you get all the effects, like cancer or pain or inflammation, it's actually kind of resolved because the cause is already been corrected. It is I wouldn't say this is a very fast therapy. A lot of Singaporeans, when they first come for session, they like it fast and happen, straight away, instantaneously. And of course, there are situations where if your issue or if your problem is only current and it just happened within a short while, and things can happen faster. It means the healing can happen within 1 or 2 sessions. However, a lot of them will come with this chronic issue where actually they have it for many years, or doctors say no more medication, please, you just have to find your own way. So clients with this kind of profile, they need to know that yes, they tend to take a little longer, and not just one session. There may be a series of sessions to go through, with that.
Okay. How long have you been doing this?
Okay, I've been doing this since I started learning this in 1999. Yeah, and my first so-called formal class and lesson was in 2020. So now it's about 224. But then I was very skeptical. Actually, I was my background was actually a psychologist. I was working in Prime Minister's office, and then I moved on to the MOE HQ. So I just find that this is a bit iffy, actually, as I said before. But nevertheless, I kind of persevere because one of my very good friend actually tell me that, hey, continue, and she has a lot of excellent kind of outcome. So I just learn and then just put it aside because I'm too busy in my life. It's only when my first child was born, she was faced with lots of issue, in a sense, because she was born premature and I was still working, and then I was so stressed, and therefore she was very stressed. But it did not occur to me that actually energy of stress from me can pass from a mother to a child. and that has been translated to her when she could not suckle. She had jaundice for a week or more, and then in primary school or preschool you can see that anxiety is stuck in her, and she's always falling sick every 2 weeks, no kidding. Every 2 weeks she's gone to see a doctor, and the medical bills can be like $400 because the pediatricians and all that. So I actually one day sat there and waited and see what how much will be the next patient pay. It's the same amount. I was like, it cannot be happening like that. So I started looking for alternative, really, like living without medicine in that sense. Of course, I also recognize that medicine is important because you really need it to kind of soothe and arrest the situation, but to rely on it for life, sometimes it doesn't sit well with me, and especially for a young child like that. So I started looking for alternatives. So I've done Reiki, I've done reconnection, content touch. You can notice everything is just hands-on, one hands, I thought. But it's only much later on then I started seeing that I'm resonating towards, or more likely this Jin Shin Jyutsu is resonating towards me. And I didn't want to take it out because I feel that it was very complex then. You have to study the different flow, different steps. But because of my child, I guess the maternal instinct, and I just feel that I'm a psychologist helping a lot of people in school. I can't help my own daughter. I was feeling really very kind of that kind of feeling. It's like, I can't even help myself, my own. So there are lots of moments where I will go in the dark when she's sleeping, and I will flip over the page and do the flows, and I could see a lot of changes. So slowly I get to want to do, and my family, my husband, my 2 girls, they're all my guinea pigs, and they have benefited. Yeah. And it's only during the time where my father was very ill, before he passed on. Yep, he had a lot of mini emergencies. I could bring his blood pressure down. I actually took a picture of the machine before and after I do. It literally went down. And then I tried to replicate it with my other clients, and it's the same. So I had a client who had autoimmune and we do a lot of flows, and I gave her homework to do for herself. And one of the flow was actually to help her with her hearing. But she recorded, because she loves to have all this evidence base. So she recorded, and after a month or so, she realized that her blood pressure went down. She went to see the doctor and gave it to a cardiologist. The cardiologist said, okay, and reduce her dosage. So I was like, wow, yes, this is the one that I want to do. Yeah.
So you mentioned before you were trained as a clinical psychologist, and then also you worked at other jobs. At what point did you decide to come out and do this full time on your own?
Okay. Correction is I'm not a clinical psychologist, but I'm a psychologist with, let's say, the organization psychologist. Then I moved to be a school psychologist. So actually I love my job, because I was trained as a teacher as well, and I taught in the primary school, the mainstream, as well as the gifted program. Then I got then I moved to MOE HQ. During that time, I really enjoy my work as a psychologist. However, the workload is such that there's a lot of training, there's a lot of assessment. I felt the strong need that to do hands-on, and it's very hard to have hands-on then, because they are very short-handed, and you actually doing a lot of assessment and writing reports or recommendation. So I come to a point where I realize you can write a lot of recommendations, not 100% are carried out because of the constraint, or teachers say it cannot be done because of this and that. I feel very frustrated. So I decided to get my hands dirty, and I love to get my hands dirty. So I will I decided to come out then, you see. But before I jump into here, I was actually also working in before MOE, I was actually also working in the special school. So I kind of half moonlight try out. So I found that, hey, I really enjoy the work there. So I start to build from there. So since then, it's only in 2016 then I formed my company, and I know, yes, I'm ready in that sense, because I'm not someone who learn ready will come out and do. I just don't have the confidence, you know. I just still feel not called. But every client and every cases I do just give me the affirmation that yes, I'm growing old, or I'm gonna age with this Jin Shin Jyutsu, the art of Jin Shin. Yeah.
I see. I mean, from 2016 till now, it's close to 10 years, so I believe it's very sustainable for you. Do you mind sharing your monthly income, like a range?
Okay, the quiet month would be still 4 figures, yeah. And then the very busy month would be like, I would say 5 figures. And there are only, I mean, I will cap myself to doing like 8 cases a day. And that is quite maximum already, because I don't want to tire myself, and I want to give myself more time actually to learning other courses, and also to spend a bit more time on some charity actually. Yeah.
Okay. Can you walk us through a day in your life?
As in my practitioner? Okay. So if my Saturday, for example, I will start at 9 because I will have a 9, 10, 11, 12, then I will break for lunch. Then I'll start at 2, 3, 4, 5. And most of the cases are very regular. So I will see them, some of them weekly, some alternate, some are twice a week for very chronics. And so what I'll do is I will follow up, and they will have homework to do. So they come in, they lie down, just lie down and relax, and my hands on, I will hear their pulse, and then look at the body and hear from them the feedback as well, and then have a session on. So we should run about 45 to 1 hour. Yeah,
per session.
Per session.
Okay. About your business, like how do you attract clients and retain them?
This is a good question. Actually, when I started out, everybody was telling me in Hokkien, "Tang bo jiao." I guess I was like, okay, I don't care. I just really enjoy doing. So I am a bit neurotic in that sense. You know, whenever I know that there's someone who is not well, even my family or my extended family or my friends or even stranger, I will go up and ask, you know, can I offer you something, and I can, you know, and you can see and what I do. And that's how I started feeling that, hey, I can really see the difference and they feel better and all that. And from there on, I actually don't have a place to do. I actually run, I drive, and I go on site. It's very tiring then, and I feel very stressful because I will have north, south, east, west client, and the time where PIE is jammed, I'll be like, oh no, and carrying the bed. But that has taught me a lot as well, because it gives me confidence. It gives me really the satisfaction that I cannot actually find when I was doing my so-called psychologist work, because I thought I found the job that I want, but somehow every case that I see, yes, I know that yes, this is what I would like to do. So I started with, even I have one, I will do. So, you know, some people say, oh yeah, you know, maybe I don't have. I don't bother. Even if it's how far, I will go there and do. So it's only much later on that I have a place, and people start coming in. Is really through word of mouth. And my website didn't come until much later, where it was really a very budgeted one, because my client offered to help me, and because I have kind of healed the father from a retinal detachment, and he was blind for a while, and then after that, you know, we wanted to put some other things on, and that took me very long. Even though it's a website, it's like it took me more than 1 year, you know, to just do a few pages.
More than one.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. And I'm not really, like you say, social media savvy. I don't use all that. So that has been there, and then later on it progressed to the current website now, which I spend a lot of time to, and I'm sure the web designer also will tell me that I'm very patient because I never chase her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's how it goes. And I think I put a lot of good intention in the website, because it is for someone who is open to finding out, what's available besides the medical intervention. This can be a really good support complement to all those who are seeking, all those who are having, medical intervention as well. Yeah, in fact, this Jin Shin Jyutsu, actually in US, there is a center for Jin Shin Jyutsu to support the cancer patients pre and post surgery as well. Just that we don't have it here yet, but it's growing.
It is, I'm sure. What are the main tools you use for your work?
Main tools okay. It's really hands-on. So my hands, like I said, is very sensitive. Because it's experience touch in that sense. So people that comes in, I do have clients who could feel warm, release of pain, numbness, tingling, farting, releasing a lot, clearing, burping. Even you can see literally, I have this professional come in to do, and you can see that they are that kind that bulk a lot, and they wear this polo muscle. After the session, the sleeve was like very empty.
Why?
Because a lot of what is not serving you will be passed out or released. So it is very important, because to note that I don't pass energy. This Jin Shin Jyutsu is very innate healing energy within all of us. It is a universal gift that is in us. Just like you said, if you get a cut when you're young, and if you don't do anything, will the body heal? It will heal. I'm talking about just a simple cut first. It will heal, right? It will close wound if you don't do anything. So we know that, okay, if you do a bandage, that you will heal faster or you'll be better. Same thing with Jin Shin Jyutsu. When you do that, the healing will be faster. The scar may be gone, and so on. However, when you grow older, you get a cut. Will you still heal? Yes, slower, you say. Maybe I got a scar. So with Jin Shin Jyutsu, it's even more important at this point, because it will speed up and it will harmonize. See, so in that way.
Those are the tools that you use for work.
Yes, because of course with my background as a psychologist, and there's a lot of people coming in when they talk and we ask, and we do that as well. So
Okay. Currently, what is your biggest business struggle, and how do you cope with it?
My biggest, I'm just thinking, how do I reach out to more? Actually,
That's the biggest business struggle.
I'm just thinking, how do I reach out to more people, and and perhaps how do I even, besides, because I only have one pair of hands, so every client that comes, to me, it has to be an empowerment journey. I don't want them to keep saying, hey, I don't see you, I don't feel good. I will always give them a customized homework in that sense, so you know what to do to help yourself in this issue or whatever. And together with that self-help plus the session, actually it has a multitude of benefits. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2, because it's like a pulley system. You have many pulleys in the whole body. You no matter how small the pulley, as you move, it will already start to move. It will reach there. And if you continue with that self-help, then you have another pulley helping, so it will be, so that effect in itself is multitude. So I'm hoping that to do more classes, and yeah.
Okay. Do you have any challenge in like disbelief in you know, that kind of doubt in what you're doing? Is that a challenge for you?
Okay, because I, of course, initially I said it's an iffy art. Okay, as I said, I use the word spit. I have to swallow this spit myself, because in the book that I wrote, I actually had a book called the Healing Journey Through the Art of Jin Shin Jyutsu. So in there it details all the cases, I think at least 22 cases of all the cases that I use Jin Shin Jyutsu. And there are moments where, of course, why I doubt is maybe I'm thinking, yeah, maybe today nobody come for session or whatever, that week. But actually now I think that maybe universe is saying that, hey, that period of silence is for me to rest, for me to take stock. So I am learning to also, like I said, not to doubt myself in a sense, because I did ask, is this what I want to do? But every case, every day after I finish, I'm not tired. Even though I do like 8 cases a day, I feel energized. It's not that I suck energy. We don't pass energy, because it is just that universal energy that surrounds us every day. So I do have doubts. There are doubts where I guess it's really like, hey, should I go on? But very fast dissipated, because I know that, hey, I had a good time. Yeah. And talking about the universal energy, is the moment you touch your own, you are already helping yourself. So let's say for those who are more sensitive, I do have cases where they have amazing body. They can tell me, I have this lady who came in and tell me that the energy is like pinching her, like waveform and all that as well. So and there was one time she was blowing bubbles from their lips. She said, no, I'm not doing it, it's the energy that's coming out, blowing bubbles. I was like, wow. I have feelings of cold air coming out from her head, from her eyes, and then hot air as well, and prickling, and sparks, as I have another few clients who describe to me, it's like sparks inside, to restart, jumpstart for them. So it's just amazing. Yeah.
It is. Do you have any books, podcasts, or any person of influence, right, that greatly influence your work? Person of inspiration, anything.
Okay. I name a few. Okay, I collect a lot of books from Imoto Mazuri. Yeah, the water crystal, the messages, as well as the Dr. Brian Weiss, where he talks about past life, many lives, many masters. I have the whole series, and I think that reminds me again of why we are here, and there is a purpose. Yes. And if there's a lesson that we need to learn, we have to learn it. If not, you'll be coming back. I see that in the cases that I do as well. Yeah.
Do you have any story about that, about a lesson that you have to learn?
Okay, I share about my own daughter. Okay, don't mind. My eldest daughter, when she was born, she has, like I said, anxiety, really a severe anxiety. What I meant is, when preschool wise, of course, you can see already she has a very weak immune, because it's high stress. Every 2 weeks she's sick, she'll cry, she can't suckle, she cannot eat well, and all that. When primary school come, by 11 o'clock sharp, the bus will come, and what will happen? Her psychosomatic, all the issue will come. She will vomit. She will have all the diarrhea below and on top, non-stop for a week, and that's high anxiety. And then when she comes back, sometimes she get nightmare. And when you ask her, she doesn't want to say. She will be like, the more you ask her, she will go into her shell. So I noticed also that every time when she is so-called under stress, like going to school, she will be like, what time is it? What time is it? You know, it's like that rabbit. What time is it? What is it? And then she'll be stressed. And she is also very good kinesthetically. She has a very nice form. So when she was in ballet, the school actually wanted her to be filmed. I cannot tell her because she will be having lots of worry. So her normal will be vomit and lao sai, and then she has sore throat a lot of time. It's not about hitty, because when we went on holiday, she can eat on all the chocolate, all that, no problem. But it's the moment she remember and she has anxiety, she will have a lot of sore throat, and I recognize that. And even up to now, let's say in secondary school, so we noticed that her issue is to speak up. Because there are times when she was bullied in school, she doesn't want to say, but because she keep it, she has nightmare. So that's where the time I know, and I try to slowly coax her to talk about it. And also there are times where, let's say she's not well, she cannot go to attend, let's say, a church, a service, and if the grandma say you must go church, she would think that, I'm not well, I cannot, I still want to go. So it's like having her own boundary and also having her own voice, and that is her, she will know, I already told her, that is actually her life lesson here. And I did a lot of flows, actually, a lot of sessions where she is very sensitive. She could tell me the flow all goes to her throat. She will cough, say, "Mommy, went to my throat," and now she's already 21. Okay, she's doing very well. She is very verbal now, and when she's young, she doesn't like to be hugged. Now she is so good. It's firm, she hugs, she that she's back. She's back to her original brilliance that every one of us have. And through life, sometimes that brilliance get a bit dull and disappear and forgot. Actually, you can bring it back.
That's such a good story.
Thank you. It's also in my
in your book.
Yes,
in your book.
Yes,
okay,
in my book. I wrote her.
Okay.
Share about it there.
Have you ever experienced a failure that set you up for later success? It could be business, it could be like a customer case study, it could be not related to customer also.
I guess failure would be is my own mental battle. Whether to start to do something that I am passionate about. It took me many years before I would declare that, hey, I am a full-time, qualified, certified, experienced Jin Shin Jyutsu practitioner that is very successful. Before that, I wouldn't even dare to say that at all. So I would say yes, the failure would be sometimes also you learn. I do have clients who come in and very demanding. You also learn. I do have clients who come in with whole knowledge of Jin Shin Jyutsu but don't want to do for themselves, and nobody wants to do, and coming to me to do. So I thought, okay, that's a good case for me to take, and the only one who will tell me what to do instead of me knowing what the body needs to do a flow. So she gave me, okay, do this flow. Okay, I take it, I learn. So I know that she meant, because she has hip issue, very young she went for hip replacement for both hip. So she wants the energy to go to that particular leg. So I had to sit in whatever. So I finished the whole session, and she wasn't satisfied because according to the book, the energy is supposed to go to leg A. It didn't happen. It went to the other leg. So to me, I know the message was listen to the intelligence within, and the body will know, the energy will know where needs to be healed first. So perhaps it has to go to that leg first to heal, to patch up something before the healing can go on to the other leg. And you guess what? After my session of an hour, she's not satisfied. She said, no, sit on the other side now and do the same flow, but on the other way. So she covered all both. So you would think that, yeah. But at the end of the session, it didn't happen. It still go to that leg. So it taught me a lot. Yeah. And also it teach me to be a bit tougher. Because so I also very ching chai. I'm okay. I go along. But I mean, it's good because then I know there are clients who really need the session. Then I will offer. There are clients who are here to just, then no need. If you don't believe, don't need to come. Yeah. Because I do have clients who are sent here because so and so send them, but they have a lot of questions. So I let them ask, which is fine. But at the end of the day, I also tell them, I don't think you should do. Because if you don't believe, even you have a magic pill, it will not work. So a lot of time is like that. Yeah.
Okay. So through your work, have you learned anything that is super helpful or advantageous?
Yes, many things. Every client I have has a message for me. Being a mother, I've seen some cases where parental control are overwhelming, and that cause a lot of harm on the child. So it reminds me not to be so anal. And also, anything you do in the past, any critical incident, any heartbreaks, any physical harm or physical operation or damage and all that, do have a consequence in later life if let's say the energy pathway within do not heal well. So I'm not saying that operation is no good and all. No, if you have to, you do it, but just to ensure that the healing is there, to ensure that so that next time in many years later on, you don't have a lot of issue. Because I see that a lot now in the 50s, 60s, even in the 40s. I mean, even the young women nowadays, they have premenopause so early, really very early. Why? It's really due to a lot of stress. You see, so how do you bring back that harmony that Creator has for women, to menstruate well and menstruate without pain, menstruate without clots, menstruate without that kind. So it can be done. I have seen someone without menstruating for a while. After that, it comes back. I even have helped a couple conceive without any pain. Yeah, for 5 years they couldn't, and the child is already nearly 1 year old.
Amazing. Okay. Are there any bad recommendations you hear in your profession? Bad advice or bad recommendations?
Okay, I learned that we should not be extreme. Of course, a lot of us will think that medication is no good and all that. But I learned really that medication has its value and is important, especially during life-threatening, and you need that to soothe. And it cannot be extreme, like okay, I only do this, I only do that. So I that is my own awakening. You see, there are reasons for their existence, and I think the moment if we are too reliant and not to think about it, then we are giving ourselves the bad recommendation. We can take medication, but we can be empowered to know why we are taking it and why do we need to continue taking it. Is that the only way or what? Then you can look for other help. See, so I can see there are many cases where they come and say, oh, I am my max dose really, I cannot do any more medication, so I come and see you. Okay. Or I don't believe at all, so I do have both in the extreme, but I think it's important to know what's the intention behind that. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to your mental and emotional state as a solopreneur, right? What do you enjoy most about your work?
Okay, I enjoy most is when during the session, how do I say it? The client could actually sense something, release, and at the end of it, they leave this place feeling lighter, more relaxed, and saying, "Oh, I can breathe better," or "This is gone," and yeah, that is what I think.
Amazing. Do you have anything that you emotionally struggle with as a solopreneur?
I think to be what I want to be like a Jin Shin Jyutsu practitioner, there is no benchmark. Everybody has. It's just like you say, you want to be a teacher. What kind of teacher? You want to be a doctor? What kind of doctor? So I bring with me, of course, I bring with me what I learn, and then what I have, and sometimes, of course, you think that, okay, there are issues where I know when they come, the client don't talk to me at all. They just jump onto the bed and that's it. So you have to crack this case on your own, looking for clues, listening to the body, and sometimes you also question whether are you good at it or not. But if you remind yourself that, hey, it is here, and be present and listen and see and be with the body, actually there's a lot of things that will be revealed to you. So I try not to be overwhelmed in that sense. Yeah.
When you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, how do you deal with it?
During my work, is it?
You never feel overwhelmed or unfocused.
Okay. Yeah, I can say that. You know why? Because I treat every session as a very sacred. So with that in mind, I kind of respect the importance I need to make sure that I am with the client. And that will be the most respectful and what do you call, give back to my client who comes and see me. So if I know that I am stir up or I actually spend a lot of time harmonizing myself. So I will sometimes hug myself like this, where I will bring my breath to harmony, because hugging here also helps with the lymphatic system, and hugging here also touch my collarbone, which helps my body to cope with whatever situation I'm having. So it will harmonize and give me groundedness. So I do that in between if I have time, but bearing in mind, yes, it's a sacred moment, so I will not anyhow in that sense. So if I know that I'm overwhelmed because of something, yes, then I will nip at the bud, which is important, because we all are human.
Okay, that's a good one. How do you keep yourself motivated?
Motivated. When you look at the case, you know that, hey, they are getting well. The cancer marker is dropping, or they are getting better. Chemo effects is less, and your client looks better. Your work is important in that sense. You're there. So,
okay. What would you say is your key to success?
Beginning will be perseverance and believing in your passion. It wasn't money at the beginning, in a sense. You should not be thinking that's the way I think lah. That's why I did not advertise. I don't have any social media. Of course, and then on the other end, you think that, there are times where I think how, but then again, you have very good moments. You know that you'll be provided if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I guess, that's how I keep myself motivated.
Okay, so can we talk a bit about your future plans? Do you see yourself expanding, or what do you see for the future of your business?
Okay, at the moment there is no association for this, so I don't know. I'm just hoping that there may be more people coming and to standardize that. But for myself, I'm hoping to actually conduct more workshops and run more classes, and to even go into different maybe communities, the elderly care, or even the helper, how they can help the older folks, release the tension, the retention in the legs or swollenness and all that. Just something like that. I'm just thinking what I can do, because the cases itself has given me a lot of wisdom, insight, and yes, of course, interesting outcome as well, as you see in my testimonies as well.
Okay, so wrapping up, right? What would be your advice for other people who want to get started, like yourself? Like, what is some good and bad advice you would give to them?
I think practice. You need to practice with no expectation, and have an open mind. Even though you may have learned and gone through many classes, the books may say that way, but the real teacher is actually the client themselves in the case, because you can't see energy, but if there's a machine, I really hope you can see, but they can sense, and sometimes you can see the change in the color of the skin. I do have one case where when they came, the toes are already dark. After the session, it was pink. So all these are very good learning journeys that you should. I write notes. A lot of them may not. I pen down because it's to see that there is as well. So I think perseverance and doing with passion, compassion as well.
Okay. Is there any advice they should ignore?
No,
nothing. It's okay. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to offer? Like anything, like workshops, sessions, services?
I can run. In fact, I was helping social enterprise nanny pro that is doing that is helping the lower income family ladies to find a job through training them to be a nanny. So I went in as self-help, self-care kind of support in terms of training them. How do you take care of yourself? To energize yourself, to harmonize yourself before you can take care of somebody's babies and all that. So
Okay.
yes,
So
I would love to. If there's
workshops like this. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any connections you're looking for, like certain target type of profiles that you are looking to reach out to?
Well, I have many groups of clientele. Those with major illnesses, we call the big labors. It could be cancer, which autoimmune or anything. Fatigue, outburn, burnout individuals, or even fertility issues, women's issues, or even men's issue, the prostate and all that as well. So it's pretty big actually. It's very safe from baby to any age, even for pets and animals.
Okay. Great. Where can we go to learn more about your business? So you can share if you have a website, you have social.
Yes, my website. Yes, my website. So I say my website here.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go to hands flow, hands as in hands, and flow, .com.sg. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you so much for your time.